are live. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host. Here I am. Here I am. Here I am. How do you do? If you have kids, you know exactly what that's from. Little finger, where are you? Here I am. Here I am. How do you do? It's also what I tell my wife. God damn it, boy. God damn it, boy. Anyways, we are live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Blake Ruffino. This is Are You Serious Sports? We hope you guys are making it a good one. We know that we are as well. Pooh Bear, that's not a pause. It's not a pause. Not when you're saying it to your wife. It's not a pause. I knew you were going to say that. It's not a pause when you're saying it to the ladies. Anyway, very quickly, this is probably one of the funniest moments. If we can execute this right, this will be a very funny AYS moment. My son Ben, there's this little jingle on YouTube. You know, it's like, little finger, where are you? And he wants you or me or Megan to say, here I am, how do you do? So when we put Ben to sleep, I'll randomly walk in there to our bedroom sometimes. I'm like, hey, Megan, little finger. That shit's funny. Pooh Bear, that shit is funny. Y'all know it and I know it. That's funny. Anyway, that's not what you're here to listen to. Oh, God. Shave your cats, people. Shave your cats. Anyway, let's get this thing rolling. Everybody do us a favor. Hit the like and share. We'll get to that in a minute. Keys to victory. Guys, there's three major keys to victory in this that I think LSU's going to have to execute on this to win. Number one is not just stopping Florida from running the football. You're going to have to contain them. You're going to have to contain them. At any form or fashion, you're going to have any level of contain for them. We'll get into all that here tonight. Brian Kelly gives update. Some interesting points from Brian Kelly today in his press conference. He talked about the rebuild. He talked about what he wants to see. He's spot on. Guys, he's spot on. I think LSU's getting there. Don't let the record indicate what's going on behind closed doors. They're getting there. Also, I thought about putting in Ruffino's rants in here. Guys, we have to stop taking every negative play at times and putting it out there. This team's doing some good things. Don't let Tennessee completely ruin your season. I think LSU can go out here and win at Florida. I'm going to give a score prediction I think you'll like here tonight, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be a very, 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 very tough game this upcoming Saturday for your LSU Tigers. We'll get it to that as well. I'll give you some SEC picks, some games I might bet along the I'll use Bet Online, but some games I might pick. Pooh Bear, I think I've talked myself into taking LSU LSU. Tennessee -7.5. I think I've convinced myself. We'll see here tonight. And then as we do every Tuesday and Thursday, hashtag Ask Blake. Thoughts, concerns, questions, comments, whatever you have, fire them inside the Rudy Crew chat, and we'll get to as many of them as we can. Gerard sends us some laughing face emojis. I'm guessing he's laughing at the little finger, where are you? Here I am, how do you do? Pressure Williams says the Gators getting those cheeks clapped this weekend. I hope so. Penn Jones says shave cats are better than 70. I'm assuming he's saying 70s hairy cats. Penn, what you know about them 70s hairy cats? Thing jump up and bite you, boy. What you know? Thing jump up and bite you, man. You got to be careful with them hairy cats. Rob Boudreaux says, have your cat sprayed and neutered, Bob says. True. You should. Brandon Reese says, man, the offense needs to step up at some point. I agree. When will they? When will they? I think it's interesting. When you watch film, there are some things like they're there. Like it's not all on Denbrock, it's not all on Jaden, it's not all on the offensive line. It's a culmination of a lot of things. They're not hitting on all cylinders on any given play, right? Like if Jaden gets the ball out and the receiver drops it, or if Jaden doesn't throw to the open receiver, he's scrambling. It is what it is on that. You have the greatest play set up, offensive line gives up a pressure or a sack. So, I mean, they're not hitting on all cylinders. If they can, they'll be fine. Pooh Bear says the Pooh Bear's betting tip of the day: take Baylor on the money line. Spread don't matter. Who do they play? Who's Baylor play this week? They got Kansas. Who they got? Oklahoma, ain't it? It's Oklahoma. It's not Choklahoma, is it? West Virginia. Okay. Pooh Bear's going to have to convince Pooh Bear. Why are you taking Baylor over West Virginia?
West Virginia is awful. They haven't stopped anyone. The game's already just started, so you'll have to live bet it. They haven't stopped anybody. They're 0-2 in the conference, 2-3 on the season. Their wins are Townsend and Virginia Tech, who is equally awful.
Okay. Interesting. All right. Bet it during the live game. Okay. Here's an interesting stat, Pooh Bear. Did you know that Carson Wentz is 6-0 on Thursday night games? 6-0. I might throw a little money on the Redskins tonight. Not the Redskins. What are they called now? God bless it. You all know who I mean. Commanders. Brian Kelly's red face says, I am petty for wanting Jaden to burn. Am I petty for wanting Jaden to burn Corey Raymond's DBs? No, you're not. Andrew Paul's Hub Martin says the game's on right now. Yes. I did not. I honestly didn't know. I thought it came on at 6:30, but I forgot who Baylor was even playing. Ray on YouTube says, love your show. Thanks, Ray. I appreciate that. All right, let's do this, guy. Oh, Penn Jones says, I'm 55. Enough said. So, Penn, you were dating girls, cougars when you were in high school? Okay, Penn, let me find out. You got that Renaissance sofa. Scooby-Dooby-Doo! Mike Vick looking boy. Oh, God. I'm on one today, man. Don't pitch your boy off today. Pooh says Wentz has only thrown 2 picks and 11 touchdowns. You know what's interesting about Carson Wentz too, Pooh? I know this LSU show, but very quickly. Everybody blamed him for the offensive struggles in Indianapolis. The funny part about that is they were a top 5 offense last season with Carson Wentz. They're dead last right now. Dead last. Matt Ryan, your cheeks. This at some point, guys, it's not on your quarterback. You know what's interesting? Hey, let me ask y'all this question. Halfway through the season last year, Max Johnson had 16 total touchdowns. Would you take 10 more passing touchdowns this season? Guys, you're undefeated. Sometimes you guys, we bark about shit that we don't have anything to bark about. Sometimes you got to give people time. Speaking of Max Johnson and Texas A&M, let me say this. Guys, we cover football, right? Like we cover football. We cover baseball. We cover sports. Guys, we talk a lot of shit on the show about Texas A&M. If you missed it today, there was a bomb scare. I think it was at Kyle Field, wasn't it, Pooh? I think it's at Kyle Field. Guys, they don't deserve that. Nobody deserves that. That's somebody's child. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't know how all of that transpired or whatever, but I hope everybody's okay. First responders, student athletes, faculty, everybody, players at Texas A&M. Like, I hope everybody's okay. I hope that this was just an idle threat somebody made. I held no ill will. I mean, sometimes, um, guys, sports isn't bigger than life. You know what I mean? Like, come on. All right, two more, then we'll get rolling. Rob says he must muff punch too. Who? Who that is? Wade McBride says, I was the repo man for Rent-A-Center. Okay. Let me find out you got that Rent-A-Center sofa. Uh-oh. I hear him, Pooh. Here he comes. Ben's going to come in here. He's going to barge in here. I didn't like the door either. I didn't like the door. Matthew Daigle says, do we go to Florida this weekend and win? Yes. I think that we do. I think we do. Penn Jones. Oh, Penn, you got to log off. He says, few bruised pelvis bones in the 70s. Penn, stop that. You have children. Penn out here. No, I ain't going to say it. All right, let's get this thing rolling. Everybody do us a favor by hitting the like and share. Stop, collaborate, and listen. Do us a favor right now. Hit the like and share to all of those Facebook groups, share to all of those social media pages. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Guys, we're still doing a $300 giveaway if we get to 5,000 subscribers by November the 1st. So go tell your mama, go tell your daddy, go tell your granny to subscribe to AYS Sports on YouTube, all of your friends, and get yourself even more of a chance to get the $300 on that giveaway on November the 1st. Okay. If you're listening to us, share there at YouTube as well. Listen to us on TuneIn at XM Radio, wherever you listen to podcasts, rate, review, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I gave a massive breakdown, in my opinion, today on the message board. You need to go check that out, AYSSports.com. I'll give a little bit of that tonight, but I'm going to leave a majority of it out. Okay, let's pay these bills, Pooh. Let's get started. Let's talk about our good friends over at betonline.ag and our good friends over at GM Varno & Sons. We return in 1 minute and 30 seconds. We got a lot to discuss. Keys to victory next. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way for you to wager on all of your favorite sports, contests, events with the first to market odds and lines. Find reviews for all the news for each league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, college sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all of your sports information for live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head on over to BetOnline today and use your mobile device to join and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50, that's BELIEVE50, BLEAV 50, to receive your 50% off welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's betonline.ag, betonline.ag. With over 65 years of experience, nobody is better equipped to service in your vehicle than GM Varno & Sons. RV repair, big rig overhauls, motorhome chassis, routine maintenance, tire rotations, tire sales. No job is too big or too small over at GM. If you break down the side of the road in the greater Baton Rouge area, they will come and get you. And the best thing about that is that they can come and get you, and then they can bring your vehicle back to their shop and start the repairs right then. Again, GM Varno & Sons, go see them over at 2500 Fuller Boulevard. Give them a call at 225-664-9992, 225-664-9992. Tell them your good friend Blake Ruffino sent you on by. All right, we are back, and we are here with Ben. Ben, I was just telling the crowd, wave to Pooh Bear. Say, hey, Pooh.
Hey, Pooh.
I was telling the crowd, Ben, that you do this little unique thing, when you're watching your pad, and you have this little jingle. There's a little song. Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, talking to you. There's this little jingle that comes on YouTube. He goes, little finger, where are you?
Hey, Raya, how do you do?
Little finger, where are you?
Hey, Raya, how do you do?
Johnny,
Yeah, Papa.
eating ice cream,
No, Papa.
telling lies.
No, Papa.
Open your mouth.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yay! You can clap for yourself. Yay! Good job, buddy. All right, let Daddy finish the show. That'll be done in a minute, okay? Close the door. I'm telling you, man. A handful. And we're about to have another one. Oh, God bless his name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. Amen. I have no idea what's going on here. Josh says, Ben, what's up, buddy? He's doing good. He's doing good. You think he got his dad's willingness to be on camera? I think he does. Rob Boudreaux says it's never one thing. No one is on the same page yet. Denbrock could be better. I agree. JD could be better. I agree. Better wide receivers, better O-line, better. And look, let's start there. Look, in my keys to victory, everybody do us a favor. Hit the like and share. Stop all of you right now. I see like 70 of you listening to us live on YouTube, radio, podcast, 200 plus on the other ones. Do us a favor, like and share. Let me say this though, to start off, because my key to victory doesn't start off with the offense. Now, maybe it should, probably it should, but listen, the bottom line is if you can't stop Florida, you're not going to win anyway. Okay, you're going to have to keep them within reason to win this football game. I think you're still going to have to keep them within 24 points to win. It's just my opinion. If you keep Florida within 24 points, guys, you're going to win this football game. I promise you, if they get over, I think you could lose. The key and the way to do that is you got to stop them up front. To some extent, I kind of want to see Anthony Richardson beat us with his arm. Now, he almost did that to Tennessee, and you could play with fire. But going back and watching this Missouri film from last week, all they did was make Anthony Richardson try to beat him. Now, Anthony didn't have a lot of help around him, receivers dropping stuff. Guys, again, it's like this. Imagine playing LSU this week. That's your scouting report. The only difference is they can bust a grape a little bit more offensively running the football than you can. Their offensive line has been a little bit more consistent than ours has been when it comes to a health standpoint. You got to stop them running the football. I don't think that Florida has the weapons on the outside that are dangerous enough to where our DBs can't contain them. There are parts of me that's wondering if Matt House is going to kind of send the house and get after Anthony Richardson, get after this running game, and maybe play a little man-on-man on the outside. That's what I would do because, look, they've been a lot like you've been. They've been a lot like you've been. On the flip side of that, LSU's got to run the football. Guys, if you rush for over 150 yards, 125, 150 yards, you're going to win. You're going to win. Can LSU do that's the question. You did it against a good front against Auburn. You bailed on it last week against Tennessee. You played hyper ball. We told you last week not to do that. You did it anyway, and you got beat. You got to play your game. Look, there are parts of me that's – and look, I'm going to get trashed for saying this. Guys, if this offense – I'm not even saying put it all together. If they put 2/3 of it together, this team can be dangerous. Do you have wide receivers running wide open at times? Yes. Does Jaden have to step up in the pocket and let that bitch rip? Yes. Do receivers have to catch it? Yes. But if just 2/3 of things come together, guys, you still can be a dangerous team. You could still be a good team. That's just the facts. Anybody that will tell you anything less than that, either number one, doesn't know what they're talking about, or number two, has never played football a day in their life outside of Pee-wee high school or Pee-wee or JV high school football, because they can't do it. The scheme has been there at times. Now, are there some bad play calls? Sure, guys. Every offensive coordinator has a couple bad play calls every single game. Every single one of them. You got to overcome that adversity. You got to overcome that. You run the ball for over 125, 150 yards, you're going to win. You're going to win. You got to generate turnovers. Number two, generate turnovers. Although the offense is struggling, guys, every single game that LSU wins a turnover better, they're winning. They're winning. You know who else does that? Everybody else in the country. Find ways to generate turnovers, give your offense more chances to get things rolling, and you'll be fine. Is this a winnable game for LSU? Yes. Is it a very tough environment to go into? Yes. Guys, I don't like going into Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. I don't like it at all. I don't like it being at 6 o'clock. I don't like a lot of things going into there. I don't like that Florida can run the football at will at times. There are a lot of things not to like. But again, this game to me has a lot of foreshadowing in it. I say foreshadowing, a lot of history, rich history in it. Guys, we've been here before. We were literally here in 2017. I wonder if we would have done an episode in 2017, the week after LSU lost to Troy, what that would have sounded like. What that would have sounded like the next week going to Florida. Oh, wait. We started in October. We literally started, Pooh, this is no joke. AYS launched the week after Troy. The week after Troy is when we started this. So my whole point in this is that you've been here before as a program. It's time to go out and execute. You can win. Number 3, look, I don't know how you coach this. I've never been a coach. Maybe I'm wrong. And my third point or key to victory here. Guys, you just can't shoot yourself in the foot over the small things. You can't jump off sides. You can't have procedural penalties. You can't fumble the ball on special teams. You can't get out of your lane on special teams. It's a lot of things you can't do. A lot of things. And look, again, day one install stuff. Day one install stuff. Okay? Some stuff, man, that you just can't. Can you teach? Yes, but some of it you got to have in your bosom. Pause. You got to have it in your chest. You got to have it in your chest. I think you come out with a victory. I think you do. Music said last time you were here was 2011 national championship game. No, that's not true. Music, I'm not trying to be rude to you, and I know that you come in with a lot of crazy takes. I love you. But you lost to Troy. You lost to a group of 5 team. Losing to, I get it. Losing in a national title game is not losing to Troy. Come on. Stop it. Does the national championship loss hurt worse? Yes, of course it does. Stop. You were in a national title game. You weren't here. Stop that. You got to be disciplined. You got to be focused. Nobody can prepare you for a football game in reference to mentality, in reference to focus more than you can. Let me tell you something. I'm not saying I was right. I was not always focused when I went into games. But let me tell you what I did do. Pooh, I got an iPod. My mom bought me an iPod, I think it was. iPods were the big thing when we were in college, right? Like iPhones were just coming out. I wouldn't take my phone. I would leave my phone in the hotel. I never took my phone. Ever. I never was with me. Wasn't in the locker room, nowhere. If they needed me, they can come. They can find ways to get to me if they absolutely needed me. I would take my iPod, put my headphones in, listen to music, and get ready to go. The outside world means nothing at that point. I said this Monday, and I'll say it again. You got to be like the Vikings. When the Vikings would go into war, they would roll up to their enemy shores in boats. They would all get off, get all of their gear off, get all of their supplies, get all of their food. They would take a torch, and they would light that son of a bitch on fire. And you know what that symbolized? There's no way out of here but forward. There is no retreat. You got to burn your ships. You got to burn your ships. There is no tomorrow for you. There is no tomorrow. Burn your ships at your enemy's shores, and you go forward. If you play undisciplined, you're going to lose. A lot of people blaming Brian Kelly and Brian Polian for switching Jack Bech on the opening kickoff. Guys, we should, and we are, and we will be an elite program. When a ball's thrown, you catch it. When a ball's kicked, you catch it. If it hits you in the chest, you catch it. You don't get out of your lanes and give up 58-yard punt returns. You don't do that. You don't do that. Let me say this, too, before we get to all of these comments. I put on the message board, and I will mention this because Brian Kelly released it during his last press conference just a minute ago. Let me say this. We do know what the offensive line was. I found out about it around 8:30 this morning. It was confirmed. I kind of knew about it on Tuesday, but we did get it confirmed. And I put it in there this morning before Brian Kelly's press conference today. Your offensive line is going to be the same at Auburn. You're going to have Will Campbell at left tackle. You're going to have Anthony Bradford or Miles Frazier at left guard. Charles Turner, who may or may not be on a little bit more of a shorter leash. I don't know that. That part I didn't get confirmed completely. Anthony Bradford at right guard, and then obviously Emory Jones at right tackle. You've played a game together. You've played a game together with that combination. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. There is a pretty big tidbit in there about offensive play, and I would highly suggest y'all go find it. Paul Escon says, Blake, I agree with him here a little bit. He says the 6 p.m. kickoff is in our favor. Florida has the exact opposite effect as LSU in night versus day games. That's true. He's not wrong there. He's 1,000% accurate. Blake Doucette says, hashtag Ask Blake. Everyone blames Jane Daniels for everything, but what about the receivers dropping the ball when it hits them in the hands? Blake, that's true, but listen, I'm not going to blame them. And look, again, does Jaden got to rip the ball down the field on some of these throws? Yes. Yes. Again, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and make up excuses. There are no excuses for some of those misses. But when he throws that bitch, you got to catch it. You know, we had to block a YouTube listener because he was ripping me alive because I said great players make great plays in big-time games. Yes, they do. Some of you show me that you've never played sports a day in your life, and it shows a lot. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. You know what's interesting? I watched this today. You know, I tweeted this last night too. Man, we kind of treated Eli Manning a little bit bad when he was playing. You know, like we thought we called him goofy, and he is goofy. Man, I went back and watched the Eli Manning highlight reel today. Dude, you can't tell me Eli Manning wasn't one of the most clutch players in NFL history. You just can't. And what's crazy is, guys, outside of Plexico Burress, some of his receivers were average. I get Akeem Hicks and Mario Manningham, like those guys, but guys, they weren't elite. Like he didn't have outside of Plexico, you know, like Odell would arguably be his best wide receiver he's ever had at the tail end of his career. I say that to say this: big time players and guys that are focused make big plays when it's crunch time. Edward O says, I would just like to see a whole week of game planning for my boy Nuss. I'm not getting into that. Guys. I'll end this one here. I'm not getting to your Nuss questions. Guys, why do you think he's not playing? Stop. You guys, at this point, he's not playing unless James hurt. Truth is, he needs a battle for number 2 too currently. You want the truth? Here comes the truth. I like Jaden. I like Nuss. They ain't more talented holistically like number 14 is. You can hate me, love me, whatever you want, but you come here for the real action. The real action is the best quarterback on your team wears 1-4 on his jersey, and Howard's on the back of it. Blake, why ain't he playing? Come on. You know why. Jeremy Marshall says, hashtag Ask Blake, check this idiot, Stephen A. Smith. We ranted about that last night, Jeremy. A whole long rant. Mario Collada says, what's up, Blake? What's up, Mario? Lamar. Precious says, run counter on Florida all day. Pressure, you know what we missed today? You know what we didn't do? We didn't go to our good friends over at Ronnie's Boudin and Cracklin to get the $12 pork steaks. We didn't. I forgot, man. I forgot today was Thursday. Today is Thursday, right? Yeah, today's Thursday. Van on YouTube says, don't listen to that Edward O guy. You and I just want the Tigers to try the different flavor. I just want to win. I just want to win. I don't care what it looks like. I don't care if Jaden doesn't throw a forward, doesn't have a yard passing. I could care less how they win. Boogie Season on YouTube says Marvin Harrison from Ohio caught the same pass that our wide receivers dropped when it was behind him. Marvin Harrison Jr., quite frankly, is the best wide receiver in the country right now. It's not close. It's not close. And he's making a lot of stellar catches. Forbes says that that's true, Blake, about big-time plays. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. That goes for Jaden included. That goes for everybody. That's not one person. Now, you will listen to what you listen to about what I say. It is what it is. Listen to what I'm saying. Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Roderick, is Walker getting time in? No, I mean, he's not going to play. He's not going to play. He's not going to play this week, but you never know. I shouldn't say never because you never know what's going to happen going forward. You know, you're literally an injury away for you have to make sure that he is, you know, like he's up to speed. And look, I don't know about you guys. I'm okay with a freshman quarterback sitting a year and learning. I don't need him to come in and play right now. Garrett on YouTube says, #Ask Blake, do you think Denbrock is calling a scheme for a pocket passing quarterback instead of a mobile one? Love the show. Garrett, what I think he's doing is I think he's calling his game. It's a great question. I would like to see some more RPOs with Jaden. I think he's really done a good job of being multiple, honestly. I think he's done a really good job of being multiple. That's my opinion. You know, I would have to, you know, look deeper into it. But Jaden can make any throw on the field, right? Like, you know, what's so crazy, and Prue brought this up last week, which was so great. You know, the concern for everybody during the offseason was Jaden can't throw an intermediate pass. And now everybody's mad that he's not, you know, you ripped him all offseason. He can't throw the ball 10 yards. Now that's all he's doing, right? Like, that's your argument. He's not letting it rip. It's so wild how this has played out. So wild. So wild. I can't throw a 10-yard pass. Guys, I tell Pooh and Zach this all the time. Guys, we were at practice. I know for a fact he can complete intermediate passes all the live long day. Then we would go in these stupid Twitter spaces. No, he can't, Blake. No, he can't. I've never laughed so hard in my life than this offseason. Never. Simper says the O-line has been average to above average. I agree with that most of the year. And for what they are and what they are working with, it's not that bad. I agree. You got to get the running game going, though, right? Like, you got to get the running game going on all cylinders. You got to get the running game moving forward. You can't play hype a ball like you did last week. Like, you can't. Another example. Kayshawn's going to have to step up this week. Now, do they limit some of the things they're doing with him? I don't, you know, we'll see. Throw him a quick slant. Throw him a quick slant. See what happens. But, guys, again, there's going to be a part in time in this season, though. There's going to be a part in time in this season, though, when you're going to have to move on from it if it's not working, right? Like, you're going to have to still try to get him the ball. And I'm not saying to not have Kayshawn a part of your game plan. Not saying that. What I'm saying is if you throw it in his general direction, it's not getting completed, you're going to have to figure something out with that. And it's not just, look, and we talked about this with Auburn. It's not just with Jaden because he's dropping passes for Garrett too. I mean, how quickly we scan over the drop pass against Auburn when Garrett was in there, don't we? Well, it was a drop. Okay. OJ Bernard says 9 in the box. No one respects the passing game. OJ, I don't mean this in the wrong. Are you talking about, let me ask this, OJ. Are you talking about our running game or like what defense is doing to us? We're not playing 9-man boxes. Outside of goal line packages, I don't think LSU's seen a 9-man box all season. I really don't. Because Auburn certainly didn't do it. Don Trell says, I think we should put in some jet sweeps in the offense. Too many athletes on the outside. Don Trell, I don't disagree with that. Garrett says RPOs and read options. I would love to see more as well. Yeah, I think you got to do some more RPOs with Jane. The problem with that, though, and we talked about this last week with Carter Bryant on his film breakdown. When you ran the RPOs, your wide receivers are blocking downfield. This has been a multiple time situation. And guys, listen, I am not beating up on kids when I say this. I have not called one person individually out. If there's a bad play, we talk about it. My point is some point it's not on coaching. Some point you got to just know your playbook. Look, man, it is nothing to give a 45-minute scan through your playbook every other night. It really isn't. It really isn't. We had a guy named Luis. His name was Luis Bavaro. And when we were at Southeastern together, we made index cards and we'd go through it. Bop, 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 bop. We might have had, guys, I think when we were at Southeastern, I'd have to ask Louise this. I think we had probably a total of 400 plays in that Southeastern offense. It was way too many. There was probably 100. There's probably 100 plays that we ran all season out of different formations. 300 of them we never even come remotely close to touching. So we would have like 100 flashcards, and we would just go through them every single week. He got 50, I got 50. He got 50, I got 50. Bop, 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 bop. We would take an hour and go through it. Louise, what do you got on this? Louise, what do you got on that? Blake, what you got on this? Blake, what you got on that? And we go through it. Bop, 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 over and over and over again. We honestly, we'd be sitting in the cafeteria doing it. After practice in the calf, he would make me get my big ass a salad. And he would literally, we would go through it, man. It's just how we did things. You got to have a level of dedication, man. Music says JD 5 yards is not throwing. Music, you're getting suspended for 5 minutes. Yes, that's all he's throwing. But what games are you watching? Music, what's your real name? Music. Put inside the chat, what's your real name? What's your real name? Ed Reader says, hashtag Ask Blake, how's CT manipulate? Charles Turner, my bad. How does Charles Turner manipulate a 415-pound wall? Yes, Florida has a 415-pound nose tackle. Really, you don't. I mean, you're gonna have to get double teams. You're just gonna have to get your butt around. You're gonna have to have quick feet. What's interesting, if he doesn't get bullied up front, he can use his feet to seal off some things. It's good, great question. Great question, though. Great question. Edo, perfectly placed drop. There's no such thing. But you forgot about that one, though, didn't you? You didn't talk about the one that Kayshawn had the drive before with Jaden. You don't talk about that one, though, Edo. I hate when y'all fucking come in here and this is the debate we have to have every, I try to implement some of you guys into the show, but man, we're going to have to stop it. I mean, can we talk about something else? Like I get about it. I get it, but it's every single put in us. Guys, he's not playing. Get over it. Do you get that? I mean, fuck. Boogie Season says hashtag unless there's an injury, he's not playing. Direct your questions at Brian Kelly. Go to the coach's show, go to TJ Ribbs, go in there and find a way to talk to him. You're not going to be able to, but say, Coach, why aren't you playing Garrett? You can send your questions in. Coach, why aren't you playing Garrett Nussmeier? Ask him. They did this weekend. How did that turn out? Boogie Season says, hashtag ask Blake, do you think the Bengals need an actual OC to call plays? Yes. I don't know if Zach Taylor's doing. Yes. And look, I'm going to tell you this. My prediction, everybody put your predictions in the AYS chat, by the way. What's your LSU score prediction? And you get those Saints score predictions in there. But give me y'all's. I'll give you mine. I'm going to say 28-24 LSU. That's my score prediction. If you hold Florida under 24 points, you're going to win. You're going to win. You're going to win. But that's my score prediction. Music says it's called a joke. Chris and Carter blocked me because he got so upset about me praising JD. He also is supposed to undo it, but apparently not. Well, Bud, you come in here, music. I'm going to give you some constructive criticism. So, like you give JD all the time. Move on. Grow up and move on a little bit. Julian says Harold Perkins is going to be key on defense. I agree. He says if he contains Anthony Richardson, LSU has a chance, and I think that he can. Now, look, I know what you guys are going to say behind me saying this. Anthony Richardson's ass. Okay, he's a damn good athlete, and he can run. Again, there's a lot of similarities with LSU and Florida. Harold's going to miss some tackles at times, in my opinion. He's going to make more than he's going to miss, though. And the thing is can you hold on? Just hold on to him. Let your team come and rally to you. Anthony can run, man. And the question ultimately becomes, what Anthony Richardson are you going to see? Are you going to see the Anthony Richardson that explodes like he did at Tennessee? Or are you going to see last week's Missouri? Which team are you going to which guy are you going to see? Because the guy's got a really strong arm. When he's ready and when he's on, accuracy-wise, he can be lethal. Question is, what guy's going to show up? What guy's going to show up? Rodney, no, you weren't. Eduardo, no, you weren't. We have 1, 2. I'm just going straight up. He says, my real name's Jeremy Hill. All right, see you, bud. You're out. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 21 comments in a row before Jaden's even mentioned. The only reason that it's only 21 is because you bring it up right back. Like, come on, man. Come on. Chris Lomax says, hashtag ask Blake, everyone is wishing that we still had the 19 offense, but people need to trust BK. I agree. We got to get off 19 a little bit. So, it's just my opinion. Garrett says, hashtag ask Blake, do you like BK's response about Harold Perkins' lack of playing time last weekend? No, but I understand it. I don't like it, but I understand it. Look, and here's the thing. I also understand why he might have not played, right? Meaning is what Tennessee's doing, something that Harold Perkins has never seen before. Guys, Joe Fouché didn't play. Sage Ryan didn't play. I mean, they played, but you go and say they weren't in the game for long periods of time. Why? Why were the younger guys or newer guys being implemented not playing? Doesn't have to do with that they didn't have a lot of confidence in the scheme that they're playing. Now, Brian Kelly did say, look, I mean, and he said without so many words, like, hey, man, what we're doing with Harold Perkins is we're giving him 2 or 3 assignments, execute X, Y, and Z, and they're letting him play. What happens when you have to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, and you got all of those assignments that you have to accomplish because that's what Tennessee dictates for you to do. If you make a wrong move, they're going to beat you. It's just facts, bro. That's how their offense works. Brian Kelly, Redface says 24-21 Fighting Tigers. Penn Jones says 28-21. Ray says 24-17. Steve says 24-17. I like it. I like it. Josh Fords, I don't mind it. I think you're trying to be realistic. Says 31-17 Florida. Maybe not realistic, but I'm glad that you didn't just come in here and say LSU is going to win. But Josh always does that. Father Abear says, my biggest worry is this. We either are going to get bad AR-15 or really good AR-15. I agree with this, man. I agree with this. History says we get good AR-15. Man, I don't like that. I don't like that. But Father Abear's right. Which guy are you going to get? I need a new chair. Which guy are you going to get? If you get AR-15 versus Tennessee, guys, it's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day. If you get the one from last week, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Josh Forbes says, hashtag Ask Blake, do you think the 1908 football team should be recognized as a championship team and get a banner? Yes, I do. And there might be something coming. Walter on YouTube says, Blake, how much of our O-line problems come from no technique? I don't think bad technique has been a problem. I mean, some of it, I think it's a lack of not knowing the offense. Really. And look, man, you got to get some dudes in there. Will Campbell is going to get bigger. He's going to get stronger. He's going to get faster. So is Emory Jones. I think Fitzgerald West is going to be a really good guy at center. You got Zalance Hurd that's coming in. You got some offensive linemen. Look, the tight-knit community of the offensive linemen is, I hear that there's some big-time LSU, some big-time guys in the offensive line that were highly recruited. They're probably about to go in the portal that can play. Like you need probably some guards. I'd go get another guard. I don't think Emory Jones is going to play tackle his whole career. Maybe you go get a right tackle. Like, there's so many things you can do. Look, you could have a semblance of next year. You having Will Campbell, Miles Frazier, Fitz West, Emory Jones, Zalance Hurd. I don't think Zalance Hurd's a day one guy, but you could have that. You could have that, ultimately. You could have that. Ant Marshall says, I think LSU defense will determine which Richardson you get. It's a good point. Or the opposite happens, and he dictates what your defense is doing. Which one are you going to get? You know what I mean? Like, that's tough, man. Look, it might just be me, and I could be dead wrong here. I just see that the guy's got talent. Okay? I see that the guy's got talent, and I'm not going to write him off yet. Guys, I'll be honest, and y'all know me, if you've listened to the show long enough, I don't write off a lot of freshmen or first-time starting quarterbacks. I really don't. Van Bennett says center ? I think, in the future, it's going to be Fitzgerald West. He's too good. He's way too good. I think that young man's special, honestly. But yeah, I mean, look. I don't know, man. I just feel as I don't like writing off freshman quarterbacks, man. I or first time starters. Now, if they're atrocious, okay, then we can talk about that. But yeah, let me give some SEC picks really quickly. Auburn's going to be at Ole Miss. I'm taking Ole Miss in that game. Vandy versus Georgia. Obviously, I'm taking Georgia. Guys, I think the biggest game of the year is Alabama, Tennessee. I really want to take Tennessee, but the reason and the things hold me back on saying Tennessee's going to win this game is quite simply, number one, I don't like betting against Nick Saban. That's the ultimate thing. Number two is it's kind of like LSU in 19, if we're going to speak on that team. Sometimes you just got to go in there and you got to do it. I thought Nick Saban had lost to Tennessee before in his career. Somebody said late last night that he hadn't. He never lost to him. I didn't even go back and fact check that. But man, it's a lot to overcome. It's a lot to overcome. The stadium's going to be with you. It's a 2:30 kickoff on CBS. They have the personnel with the scheme that can beat Alabama. Do they? I don't know. But I'm kind of riding with Tennessee. I think that they can do it. I think they have the potential to do it. Arkansas and BYU. Give me Arkansas, actually. But then if KJ's not playing, KJ's not 100%, I'm going BYU. Arkansas, man, it's kind of falling down. It's not looking good. LSU, Florida, we talked on that one, obviously. Mississippi State, Kentucky's interesting. 6:30 kickoff. Look, that feels like a little bit of a trap game. Now, I don't know if I've been seeing some things on Will Levis. If Will Levis does play, is Will Levis out this week? I need to go bean count that. I need to go check that. If Will Levis plays, that's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting. But what also is going to be interesting, if Mississippi State goes into Lexington and wins, guys, they're 6-1. Chances are Mississippi State's going to be the second team in the SEC West. I think they could beat Ole Miss because I think Ole Miss is going to lose 2 games in the SEC. I think they're going to get boathoused by Alabama, and I think they're going to lose another one. Pooh says Will Levis is set to play. Man, I'm telling. Listen, I don't like that game for Mississippi State. I just think it's goofy. I don't like it. I feel like Leach loses one of the games he's not supposed to, even though he wins a game. He's, maybe that losses to LSU. I don't know, but we're gonna have to talk about Mississippi State if they come out and they win this game and they're 6-1. Guys, that's a good football team, and you beat them. That's the thing, man. Everybody like riding off LSU. Guys, you just beat, if Mississippi State wins, you beat a 6-1 Mississippi State team, man. Gerard says if Bryce Young's plays, or if Bryce Young's out, Tennessee wins. Yeah. God damn it, Pooh. I should have taken this. You said take Baylor, 17-7. The man doesn't lose a lot. Tyson Messer says Tennessee will win 28-21 Bama. You know what's crazy? Though, about if Milroe does play? Man, if they limit their turnovers, what Milroe does, though, can win them the game, though. You keep guys, if they run the football all over Tennessee and they keep the ball out of Tennessee's offense's hands, Wayne McBride says Rome was not built in a year. Have to let BK work. Yeah, you do. And guys, you're in a full rebuild. Look, I know a lot of you have come in our Twitter spaces. I know a lot of you, we've talked about a lot of this. Guys, come on. I mean, come on. Edo says Nookie be lurking. No, Nookie don't be lurking. I mean, there he is. We hadn't seen him in a while. He says Saban lost to Tennessee in 2001 regular season game. I thought so, Nookie. I thought so. I thought they did. All right, a couple more, and then we'll get out of here. Blake Doucette on Facebook, hashtag Ask Blake. People complain about LSU being 4-2 in BK's first year, but look at A&M with Jimbo already 3 losses. Give BK a chance. It's true. It's true. Father Aber says, if you don't have 2 muff punts and 1,000 other mistakes, you beat FSU. We're 5-1. Just think about that. We would feel so much different about our team right now. Yeah, we would. We would just say the game, what's crazy, Father Aber, what they would say is, oh, Brian Kelly can't win big games, because LSU would have been undefeated at that point, I think we win. I think we're 5-2. Guys, I still think you can get to 8 wins. Is it trending more 7-5 at the current moment? Yes, I still think you can get to 8 wins. My mom in here just roasting you fools. Yeah, and by the way, I don't apologize. Let me just say this again. I did lose my cool last night. Somebody put a comment on Twitter about my mom or something. Listen, I will dog slap the hell out of you. Don't talk about my family, man. Say I got saggy titties. I got big ass legs. Say my nose is big. My beard looks shitty. Say anything you want about me. The second you talk about my family, I will knock you the fuck out. Do not go on Twitter. Do not come on this YouTube channel. Do not do anything when you mention my family in a negative light. I forget what the rapper says. Mama said knock you out. She would tell me to knock you out. Pause, Pooh. Pause. I'm sorry. He says you is thick. Pause. Pause. You can't call another man thick, but I am. I mean, guys, listen. Megan married me because of my ass. Okay? Glutes of steel is what she called them. All right, Pooh. He said 3 C's on the thick. Bro, did you hear? I don't want to say it. I'm going to tell Pooh off air because I don't want to say it. I'm going to get canceled. Somebody said instead of 3 C's, 3 other letters on a podcast, and he didn't realize what he had said. I was like, bro, God bless it. Paris Scott. All right, last couple we getting out of here. Paris Scott says, hashtag Ask Blake, why does LSU keep running up the middle, this inexperienced O-line? Well, here's the thing, too. There are lanes on the outside that running backs are missing. They've done other run plays. They're just not executing them. So, for example, like when we saw Anthony Bradford and Miles Frazier running into one another, they were pulling their guard and tackle. And the reason they're not doing it, Paris, is because your O-line can't execute it at will. It's the truth. Precious says, Megan married you for what again, my boo? She said, she says this is America's ass. I got America's ass. Glutes of steel is what she called them. Father Aber, I'm sorry you had to hear that. How's Goodwin looking? Brian Kelly mentioned that. Let me go to Wilson Alexander's tweet. I think he said he'll be back for Ole Miss, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on. I'm getting to it. So there's a chance that Armani Goodwin will be cleared to play against Ole Miss, Brian Kelly said. It's good. Simper says, had to go to bathe the baby. Did you hear any more good news on Harry practice? Yes, I did. Guys, he's going to be good. He's going to be good, man. Just stay tuned. Van Bennett on YouTube says, I like the way you roll, Blake. Leave the family in negative comments. Yeah, don't talk about my family. Don't talk about my family, bro. That's one thing I'm not going to play with. Not going to play with it. And I know my mom was tagged in it. She saw it. Look, bud. Just don't do it. All right, I lied. Last one. Alan said hashtag Ask Blake. Why is LSU not throwing shorter routes? That's all they're throwing. That's all that they're throwing. You know what I mean? That's what everybody complains about JD about. All right, let's get out of here. Pooh Bear, we'll be back, Saturday morning? Y'all shows at 7:30? What time's your show?
7:15.
All right, 7:15. So let me get out of here. Let's get out of here. We'll see y'all Saturday morning. Y'all have a good night. Peace out, Girl Scouts.